I'm Carcina. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's quite interesting, people. Well, that was quick. But hit the like button. I know you guys just got here. Like the video. If you are not getting your subscriptions or your notifications to when we're going live, make sure you hit the send feedback button on YouTube and write to them. Tell them you're not getting notifications for this channel. That would speak a lot. Now, Vincent J. McMahon, who you saw through the whole docuseries, right? All of the assault charges, everything. And they claiming they're still investigating this man. But we saw Sean Puffy Combs get drugged through the entire mud in less than a 5-month span. In less than 5 months, a man who was listed as a billionaire was charged with every salacious crime in the book. He settled a lawsuit civilly, and since he settled, everything started coming out. Everybody just started coming up with all this. He took me here from state to state. Now we got racketeering, racquetball. We got it all. With anything he did, he hit me with a cup. Now, and he took me across the states to do it. It's like, what do we have that's going on here? Every week is something crazy. Everybody just, I had repressed memory. I remember now. Because somebody's promising them light at the end of a tunnel. Now, WWE, everyone knows at the stock exchange, when they went public the first time around, they had WWE Network, the restaurants, they showed it all. All of these accusations were there. They've been settling lawsuits for years for SA, and mainly involving Vince McMahon. Ashley Massaro, who claimed she was insulted by somebody dressed up pretending to be a WWE doctor when she was on the holiday tour. They said that WWE cleaned it up and made it all go away. Diddy has been arrested, drugged through the mud, name looked bad, the whole nine. Mug shot, everything. You know what they gave Vince McMahon? They let Vince McMahon walk away, come back to the business, and take it over from Stephanie after she convinced him to step down and resign. He comes right back into the company. She leaves. He's right back at creative. Then he goes ahead and does this deal to buy out or sell the company. The board brings Vince back to sell the company. How crazy is that? So through that engagement, he ends up selling the company and the shares. Once it happened again, once the latest case hit, then they had no choice, TKO, who just brought him on, to get rid of him. Ari Emanuel could not sustain another hit. And Vince is out. What's wrong with this picture, people? Vincent J. McMahon, TKO, which combined the UFC with WWE because they're basically the same thing. Which the docuseries failed to cover because they wanted to make this all about Vince, is how Dana White is a low-rent Vince McMahon. Now, Ari Emanuel, who's sitting right there next to Vince McMahon, is the face of all of this. Ari Emanuel runs entertainment. Kanye West told you about it. Ari Emanuel is the man that was shutting him down. Ari Emanuel's brother, Rahm Emanuel, who was the mayor of Chicago, we know him quite well. Best friends to the Obamas. We know them quite well. UFC is fake. WWE is real. Yeah, you've been smoking today. Now, the situation with this is that it's going on scales that it shouldn't go on. The reach is not going the way it should. And they had to cancel everything, even though Vince, the material, the text messages were unbelievable. We don't have any of the Diddy text messages or any of that. We got a Cassie video that she got that there's no charges for. And then WWE itself wanted to investigate their own president of their company. Yeah, we'll see how that was going to go. Everyone feel that docu-series that he did on Netflix which he couldn't stop from coming out. He incriminated himself in that video, in that Netflix series. But I'm sitting here wondering, how is this man never been arrested, never been charged with anything, never been brought in, fingerprinted, mug shots? He gets to go home. Nobody's raided his house. None of the humiliation that they just did to Sean Puffy Combs. And somebody here said, because he's white. And for everyone to sit here and say that that's the reason why it was done, Tony Khan might join your live. This house was raided? I didn't see that. Let's see if that happened. Let's see, was there a raid at Vince's? No. No, this is different. This is a subpoena and search warrant. A raid and a search warrant is entirely different. A search warrant, you sent over two guys with a piece of paper and said, well, we have a search warrant here. We want to go through this with a search warrant. Got a search warrant here. And an actual raid is what you saw, what happened with Diddy in two different locations. They got boats, they got helicopters, they got all these extra over the top. Only the best of the best for Diddy. You'd have thought he was running from the law and everything. Vince McMahon has a mountain number of payoffs. John Rod said Vince lost his company and he wasn't human trafficking. I don't think so, buddy. Blowing up cars. I don't think so, buddy. He blew up cars every day on national television. Beating women and having all kind of baby oil. Now the baby oil might not be there. Vince was in the text messages. He liked it rough. See, if you read the text messages, you would understand, John. It was a lot worse than that. In those text messages, 20 million in payoffs, that's light work for him. But from a female referee to Sable to all of these people, like, nasty stuff, man. He had this woman that he was paying her bills because she didn't have any money. She was, Vince's alleged play toy. And she would, my goodness, and he was, I'm telling him about how you take 2 and 3 at a time. You want all your holes filled. And you only take a 10-minute break. And then you come back, get on your knees and ready for more. Oh, we're loving this. You know, like he's texting all this. I showed Brock the pictures. They are loving it. Everybody wants a piece. I'm like Vince is basically using her in a contract negotiation. If she's part of the deal to get somebody back into the WWE who's allegedly Brock Lesnar. Those text messages were off the, you wouldn't even believe how crazy it was. I'm gonna have a bunch of black guys just go crazy on you. The Undertaker and Vince are just like that. They wanted to put Brock Lesnar over by beating The Undertaker. Anything to keep Brock happy. You realize Brock was married to Sable. Still married to her, I think. And basically, it looked like Vince probably hooked that up too. So they have a relationship in where they trust each other. But why no helicopter for him? A lot of documentaries are better than what Netflix does. Netflix, what they do on their program and even their original movies, is very far and few are very good. Most of them are so bland. You just get a bunch of, but best thing they do is they go and they get big stars, pay the big stars money, and just throw them into this big budget movie where the script was written by somebody who eats crayons. And they throw them out there and they just make the most blandest dialogue, throw them in the movie and say, well, whatever money you need, we'll blow this up, we'll do whatever, just go on and do it and make your movie. So we put it on Netflix. Wahlberg, Holly Berry, The Union. And it's like, this doesn't make any sense. You just took two people who have a name, Mark Wahlberg, Holly Berry, and said, put them in a movie. Just give them whatever they want. Put money in it, put J.K. Rowling in it or whatever, or J.K. Simmons, throw him in there and make an action movie. Forget that nobody has any chemistry or it doesn't make any sense. Netflix has been doing that for almost all their movies. Even the Menendez story. They take that and they overinflate the storylines, making it all creepy and weird. And the guy who did the Dahmer movie, the guy who did that decided to create this. And I like the mini series that was done on this much more than anything you could ever imagine. So this is like Dahmer Part 2. It's just too much dramatization in the Netflix era. Oh yeah, it's like my cousin, man. He loved Narcos. If Narcos come on, he's hooked for life. Narcos is on. See, I told you, this is why you gotta learn Spanish. He's addicted to Narcos, buddy. It can be any episode of Narcos. That's all he want to see. No, because if you look at it, Vincent J. McMahon and everything that went on with him, all his activities, all his weirdo ways, nobody stopped to question anything about what was happening. No one asked any questions. I just find that particularly very strange that no one had the gall or the wherewithal to ask any questions about why Vince McMahon's situation is different. Why was he able to return back to work? Why was he able to go through all of these different situations all together? Why was he able to come back to the company after resigning just so he could secure the sale of the company and still work in creative and have stock in the company? And then Ari Emanuel, The Rock, and all these people now own it. The Rock is part of TKO. So he gets a stock in WWE now. So now Vince is bought out. Rock's the man. So Rock basically owns WWE. No. See, the plan of everything now is to act like things don't exist. And when you start acting like things don't exist, you're in an extreme mode, right? And once you're in an extreme mode, you're in a situation that it don't take off in a way that you thought it should. I never trusted Vince McMahon. I knew what he was when he came on the scene. So nothing he did surprised me. What I'm noticing is that as we move forward into this new reality, you're starting to see everybody is called into is it because he's black or he's white? No. is because one was a target and the other one wasn't. Vince didn't get it because he's white. Vince got this treatment because he wasn't targeted. You see, Vince wasn't targeted by the outside. He was targeted on the inside. So people wanted Vince out of the way. Vince was doing his old tactics, and times have moved forward. So in order to move forward, they had to get rid of Vince. That's what happened to Vince. That's how all this stuff started to move forward. And then this woman started to be believed in her case and everything. Now, Vince had a lot of powerful friends, but this had to happen on the inside in order for the company to be sold. So he was imploded on the inside. Diddy was targeted by people on the outside. The outside wanted to get him because he tried to cross some other people, and everybody else was being made as patsies in the situation. So Diddy had a bunch of enemies that teamed up and said, y'all want to do this? Let's do it. So not only was it the liquor company, but there's other people involved. And for other reasons. Diddy did some things that you don't do. Kanye West tried to do it. And it's nothing that a white person wouldn't be able to do or ask for. But Diddy thought he was in a position where he could actually stand tall and they kind of forget their past, and their past is following them like luggage. No one's going to feel sorry for Sean Puffy Combs. Nobody. Who's going to feel sorry for him? Now, how is he going to get a fair trial? Why would he get a fair trial? You see what I'm saying? There's so much garbage going on that a lot of people don't even understand what it is that they're talking about. They put these acts together, they put these situations together, and neither one seemed to mesh with one another. Well, y'all, yeah, they're gonna leak out information. How could Diddy get a fair trial if you're gonna take all of the information? Puffy was going against Trump, so Trump is is going to help him is not going to help him. Well, yeah. Well, that's the case for sure. But like I said, things are much bigger than the scope that they're putting everything on, you know. The terms of what people are talking about are entirely different. You know, and when you start getting to that level, you're going to see some things that you might not like. You're going to see some things you might not enjoy. So now they're going to get their list of people that they're going to put in there. And it's a sad situation, you know. It's a usual cliche. It's a usual cliche when they talk about the demise or the despair of certain personalities or yeah, you know, you got to understand that if they didn't go and do what they did, it wouldn't be a huge story. You know, they had to go after Puff to make a show. Oh, no one cared. Oh, they didn't care about any of that. They didn't care about any of those things you just said right now. Yeah, we thought we were gonna have to go to New York to beat up Puffy. That was funny. Yeah, Nate Jones tell the story, and Diddy had signed a Chicago group, got him signed to Universal. It was a Chicago City hit anthem song they got, and they got a song called "On My Mama." On my mama. Yeah, they did that song, and they got signed with Universal, but the deal was structured in a way that it wasn't right, and they saw it and said, "Hey, so and so's getting all the money, and we're not, and we made the record. We ain't doing it. So they ended up getting out of the deal, but Diddy was saying, hey, y'all ain't getting this and this. So, dude, you don't know the half of Vince McMahon. For you to say that, why do you think? Let me tell you something right now. They made a movie about a wrestler that The Rock produced, that he was mentoring, and she was sleeping with everybody in the company. And they didn't cover that at all. And it was a good movie. Do you forget my friend worked for WWE? Do you forget he used to date one of the Bella girls? Not the one John married, but the one that was married to Daniel Bryan. Yeah, Paige. Trust me, there's things Vince McMahon has done that I know about that we probably never gonna talk about. Vince McMahon would allegedly defecate on females. Was getting around, Cino. You must haven't been online. Her stuff was all leaked on every site in the world. The page leak was crazy. I used to be at all the WWE events all the time, especially when they came here. My buddy was his job was the crew. I had backstage passes to WWE and everything. I was backstage. I had seen it all. I had a shirt that's a crew shirt from WWE. Like, no one has that shirt unless you're a part of the crew. I saw a lot. I got to see how the actual cookies are made, in other words. I saw the little resistance bands they have on the floor, and they be pulling to make themselves look buff. But the female wrestlers, they knew to get on and to try to make it to wrestling. The Bella twins, what they would do, they was just eye candy and they were flirting with all the wrestlers. They weren't as talented in the ring like that. They was just like, we're athletic girls. We're down to do everything. And they would be at pool parties late at night. And that's how my boy and them getting on. They was messing with the crew, anybody down to do anything. So I knew the promotion of the Bella girls, what ended up happening there. And my buddy got fired from WWE by Vince McMahon. And it was crazy. We'll talk about that on the Patreon. Yes, his firing led him down. I think that's what put him on a spiral, him getting fired for something that normally you don't get fired from. It was just the wrong time, wrong place. Well, it's just that when people see somebody involved in something, they automatically assume, hey, this is the way it's supposed to go. This is the way it is. Oh, Brittany Renner and Christian Rock. Well, Christian Rock is finna serve time if she's not already still in jail in another state. And then she's Blueface, he's already locked up. So there you go. You got two of the most irrelevant people in the world locked up. You know, they just wanted to put that in front of America to make us look bad. A ratchet chick, a good girl who turned a ratchet chick because she liked a no good thug dude. Well, when you do things that don't or is not viewed as normal or on the same level as, what you want to do is make sure that you're doing something that's even keel. You want a balance, a sense of balance. And when you don't have that sense of balance, everything's going to fall off. Well, it didn't happen just like that, Excel. Not at all. um, I mean, it wasn't like they left her in Kuwait and all that. And no, it didn't happen quite like that. And then they found her in New York, you know, from taking her own life. It wasn't just that. She complained earlier that Vince McMahon also, you know, made advances towards her, but she said no. And he basically was belittling her all on her scenes. She was hired to be eye candy anyway. She was a girl who got the job. She was flashing people. It's stuff I could say there about her too, because we knew her as well, being associated with my friend. We'll explain all of this on the Patreon. So expect to see that. Yeah, well, when you get to a certain point where you realize it's not going the way you think it should go, then you will understand. You'll know. You'll say to yourself, well, damn, I kind of don't like this. Well, thank you for checking in. So, yeah, it's very weird. The whole situation is weird beyond anything you can ever imagine or explain. As for the why, I don't know. You'll have to ask anybody else about that. Yeah, we're definitely. Oh well, they're never going to give a man like Diddy a fair trial. It wouldn't benefit them to do it. You'll understand when it's over. But let me go ahead and get the Patreon up and going, and we'll talk later. Appreciate y'all. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, Dreamers Pro, Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Welcome to HDII TV, Armando Black TV, and I'm out the door.